Tobermory, my favorite whiskey. And let me tell you a little bit about it. This one's smoky. Here gets a little pop. Oof. Smell the sea, seaweed, salt, smoke. Delicious.
My father gave me Montana.
Do you know what they call the water of life? Well, in Scotland, it's called Scotch. Scotch whiskey, to be exact. Scotch really stole my heart when I traveled to Scotland just the other year. Empty Spaces loves to adventure. As you can see in some of our previous videos, if you get a chance to go to Scotland, let me tell you a little bit, and possibly this will help you in determining how to make your epic adventure even better. Our initial destination was Inverness, which happens to be right at the edge of Loch Ness. Yeah, we didn't get to see Nessie, but we saw warning signs. As we landed, we picked up a rental car and quickly passed Loch Ness and on to the Isle of Mull. Yes, M-U-L-L. Beautiful, because this small community was far out there. That most of the time you're on a single lane road and there's nobody in sight. Big, wide open, empty spaces covered in green grass and cows, sheep, livestock, but nothing else. There really isn't anything else out there. There's not even fences. We progressed on with the goal of taking a ferry across the water to the Isle of Mull. And that is where I really, really fell in love with a bottle of Scotch and the whole idea of what Scotch is. This is a bottle of Tobermory, also known not just for their whiskey, but for their beautiful town, colorful little bayside town that is small and quaint and, to me, just screamed Scotland. On top of seeing Tobermory and being infatuated with Scotch, we also took a trek over to some standing stones. And these are intriguing because they seem to have just stood up. And they get some wild stories behind them. And really, you don't even need the wild stories to impose a mystical feeling that comes upon you as you walk by them. It was beautiful to be walking through pastures down into little glens of trees and moss. Quite simple, but magical at the same time. So after our short time on Tobermory, we proceeded into the area of Aberdeenshire, which is on the eastern side of Scotland. And while it was less impressive in regards to landscape, mainly rolling hills of wheat and farmlands, I was amazed by Whiskey Road. Essentially, it is dozens of distilleries, mile after mile, with rich history packed behind each still. A full trip on its own could be had in this area of Scotland, checking out different castles and partaking in delicious, unique scotches. The oldest and best known of the Scotch distilleries are definitely in that Scotch highway. We didn't stay long, though, in Aberdeenshire and quickly found ourselves driving back to Inverness, where on our last night we tried out Ulenbeist Distillery and Brewery. It is focused around the folklore of the terrifying creature of the deep, Nessie. So a few tips: spend less time traveling between locations and more time soaking in the surroundings of a specific location. Focus in on one spot. If that's seeing 2 or 3 lochs, seeing the ocean, then the Isles, or going and driving Whiskey Row and all of the amazing distilleries in that short section, seeing a couple of castles, but sticking to one main plan, especially if you're only going to be there for a few days. We were there for 10 and it wasn't long enough. Secondly, we are quite big coffee snobs, as you might see on this channel. Coffee was not easily found. It's more of a land of tea. Next, don't hesitate to rent accommodations right next to the destination that you want to see. Lastly, if you are going to be spending any time in Scotland, I highly recommend sipping some scotch while you're there, because the scotch that you get in Scotland might only be available in Scotland. So that way, when you're home, you can pop open a bottle, take a sip, and go right back to Scotland and enjoy the memories. I hope you found this informative and motivating to get you out of your comfort zone and to explore those empty spaces we love so much. We appreciate any likes, and if you want to subscribe, that'd be great as well. If you want any more adventure advice on Scotland, leave them in the comments below. I'll see what I can do to answer those for you. And next, if you ever dreamed of visiting the real Middle-earth, living like a hobbit on his adventures to Mount Doom, well, my next video, I plan on talking about my most recent trip to New Zealand. Until next time, keep adventuring.